thoughts on the match?
I mean, I thought it was highly contested. I thought there were momentum shifts throughout the first half. I think they had the advantage on shots, but I thought we had some good chances, especially later on in the half. And then we just started the second half, and when you give up 2 goals, I don't know what the time between the 2 goals were, but it was very short. It's hard to like work your way back into it. I'm proud that we got that first goal, and I'm proud of the way that we fought to try to get that second, but the ball just didn't bounce our way, and it's tough. You know, we know that we need points on the board, so we're making these last 3 regular season games even more heightened as far as the results that we need, and we understand that, and we need to embrace it, and I think we are going to, and we're going to give them one hell of a fight for these last 3 games.
I don't think I had anything to add.
Okay. And then, right, you guys, there were some key other, oh shoot, what's the word? Games, there's the way that, results, that's the word, yep. You should be doing this, not
I know, right?
Today, so you guys are still kind of above the line. What do you think kind of is the key moving forward for those final 3 matches?
I think we're gonna need to win, get some points on the board. No, I think for us, we're not focusing on what's going on with the rest of the league. Obviously, those other results are helpful, but for us, it's just focusing on our next 3 games, and yeah, we need to get points. We can't rely on what other teams are doing.
How frustrating has this stretch been to you guys?
I think I would use the word challenging. I think for me, this has been, yeah, the most challenging period in my career, but I think as players, you learn a lot during these periods, and you're forced to ask questions of both yourself as an individual and for us as a team and an organization, and question why it's not working the way it has in the past. So I think it's challenging, and for us as players, we're just trying not to get too negative. I think these are the opportunities in your career where you really learn a lot about yourself when things aren't going well. So our focus has just been continuing to ask questions of ourselves, ask questions of each other, and yeah, I'm really proud of how our group has responded all season. You know, this is my first year at the Thorns, but I know this isn't typical of the organization, and so that's challenging, but I think we've just continued to go after it as a challenge again and again, and it hasn't worked out yet, and but all we can continue to do is try and keep asking those questions and keep challenging ourselves.
Yeah, and then Becky, there was a lot of kind of changes in the defensive side. We had Brandon kind of stepping in more central, with Issa going left. Kind of how do you, as in a position of leadership, kind of navigate those changes during a game like this?
Yeah, luckily, you know, those players have played all along the back line, and so whether we're in a 4-back or a 3-back or a 5-back, our staff has done a really good job of preparing for any of those formation changes, and anywhere along the line, you know, you need to know the roles and the responsibilities. And for me, if I'm finding myself more central, it's just communicating and organizing as much as you can during the game. And different games call for different tactics. But I thought, you know, for these last several games, even though we are giving up goals, you know, tonight was a transition and then on a set piece. I think when we're organized, we are very difficult to break down. And so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the shifts that all those defenders are putting in. There's, you know, players that are playing a lot of minutes and a lot of competitions, and it is frustrating when we give up goals, but I see us making progress. And it's not just for this season, it's also for these players playing in the future, and the things that we're figuring out about ourselves now that can apply for future seasons.
And then Jesse, obviously you, Sam, and Liv are all really talented players, but the possession numbers really haven't been there this season. You know, what's something you guys can do to improve that in the last, you know, the final stretch of the season?
Sorry, did you say the possession numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think just continuing to build relationships with each other and the players around us. I think these things take time, and the 3 of us and the people on the pitch are more frustrated than anyone you'll ask. So yeah, I think some of it is just about time, and just continuing to build those relationships with us 3 and different players on the pitch.
And then Becky, just the box defense and just the transition defense. What would you like to see cleaned up in the last few games of the season?
Well, I mean, this is a league of transition, and so, you know, we've given up our fair share of goals on transition. It's a difficult thing in the moment, making the right decision. We've talked a lot about sometimes someone's gonna just have to do a tactical foul and just take the person down and just end it before it gets even more dangerous, and I think this team sometimes plays it really safe, and that's funny coming from a defender who doesn't really foul, but I think sometimes we need to end it early. And like, we're playing against very talented players. Hannah is a fast player, she's a runner, and does a great finish. And so, you know, kudos to her as well, because that was a really good play.
Alright, thank you. We'll be back